Welcome. I'd like to show you how to work a chain edge that goes all the way around and is continuous. Well, what do I mean by that? On this swatch, I started out with a crochet chain cast on. You can see the chain right there. And then I worked a slip stitch selvage. I used Elizabeth Zimmerman's method. That is, knit one through the back of the loop at the beginning of the row, slip one purlwise with yarn in front at the end of the row. And I did that on both right side and wrong side rows. Then at the top, I did a regular bind off on a right side row. When you follow the chain, if you start here where I cast on, you can follow the chain across the bottom, up the right side, and across the top as it runs counterclockwise. But here in this corner, it meets a chain that is running up the left side that is running clockwise. If I had bound off on a wrong side row, I would have two sides that run clockwise and two sides that run counterclockwise. For this demonstration, I set myself up so I only have to change one side, not two sides. So I would like this chain to run in that direction. How do I do that? The technique I'm going to use is one I'm borrowing from Tech Knitter. She called this a controlled drop, and she used it to fix stranded color work mistakes. So I am doing physically the same thing she did, but I am using her technique in a completely different circumstance. I start by putting the last live stitch on a crochet hook, and now I will unpick the chain that is going in the aberrant direction. So I unpick, and then I latch it back up. I unpick, and I latch it back up. And what Tech Knitter realized is if you get your hook right here underneath the chain, you can unpick and latch up all in one maneuver. At least you can if the yarn isn't sticky. Let me give that another go. If you don't like unpicking one stitch at a time, another approach you could take is to ladder down a bunch of these and then come back and latch them. And you see I just park them on a double pointed needle, or you could use a circular needle as well. I will put a pin in that because I am now at the corner, and now I need to get this to turn the corner, and I need to sew this together to get a seamless finish. I'm shooting for what I would get if I were binding off in the round on the top of something like a sock. In this case, I've left myself a longer than usual tail. My swatch is 10 stitches across. It's 8 stitches in the middle and a selvage here and here, so 10 stitches. My cast on was 11 stitches. I used a slip stitch to get started, a slip knot, and then I cast on 1 stitch with crochet chain, and then I cast on 10 more with crochet chain. I worked back and forth on those last 10, and I dropped the first one, which is right here. That just gives me more tail and makes it a little easier for me to see how things should fit together when they come around the corner. So I will put a pin right here. And now I unpick this edge, and then I will sew it back together. So here I will pull that up through, then back through here, and back down here, back down here. And I take the pins out. And there we go. The chain runs all the way around, unbroken. So at this point, all I need to do is weave in my ends. In a lot of projects, this won't matter. It won't be worth the trouble to do it. If you are working in a large-scale yarn, as this one is, it may be worth it. The chain is noticeable with the unaided eye. And of course, if you are someone who just delights in perfectionist, picky details, hopefully this technique makes your heart sing. Happy knitting!